Welcome to the Round 17 review and the Round 18 preview show. We had some massive scores this week. Huge, big, it's amazing. Probably the biggest round ever. There were 3 teams that got their highest score of the year in terms of Rangers, Falcons and Gators. And 4 teams actually got big scores in the 400s as well. There was also 3 games that would have been reversed based on the optimised lineups, and 2 teams would have scored 500 based on the optimised lineups as well. So let's get started with the review of the games.
Lock it in. Saxophone lights. It's time to win. But Footywired. Footywired. Footywired.
Alright, the first game we're going to look at is between Seek and Destroy, who have been in some good form lately. They played against the Sugar Daddies. They were looking to consolidate their spot in the 5, the Sugar Daddies were, and they want to keep their title defence alive. Sugar Daddies, they got the win, 353 to 334. Seek and Destroy, once again, were led by Nick Dacos. And once again, he got over 100 as utility. He got a score of 101. Jack Gunston, as full forward though, he was also in good touch. He got 40, but their form was a bit light with the other players. It's a bit hard to find, maybe the third best player. So went with the tackler in Drew. He was probably the best of the worst. Sugar Daddies, well, as we said last week, just leave the man's photo up. Rao found the turf at Marvel tasty this week. He got 78 as a tackler. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that might be the highest tackling score that we've ever had. Mind you, there was 3 tacklers in the 70s this week. Fogarty is a full forward. He was also good. He got 36. And like his opponent, the third best was pretty hard to find. Maybe Tuk. He, as a midfielder, got 45. Optimised lineups this week. It says different result and a close game. Seek and Destroy would have brought Elliott into full forward and moved Jack to half forward, while Zach Bailey would have been the utility. For Sugar Daddies, Danger would have got the run, took to utility, and Himmelberg would have got the halfback spot. Let's go to the fourth game there, or the second game, should I say. I'm losing track already. Second game sees Renegades looking to bounce back after 2 losses in a row, taking on the Gods, who were looking to bounce back after their shock loss the week before. It was the Gods here, given Renegades their 3 losses in a row with a 389 to 447.5 victory. Renegades scored well, but just not good enough. And this week, their best were Isaac Rankin at half forward with 53. Holmes kept up some great form with 96 utility, and Noble as a follower was serviceable as well. For the Gods, 2 players who, like Rao, just need to stay out there every single week. And that was Atkins, who saw Rao's game and thought, I want to try to up you. Didn't quite get there though. He got 74 as a tackler. And aside Rangli Malira, I actually watched him. I went to the game on Saturday night. And he actually moves really smooth and it just looks effortless to what he does. He was absolutely amazing as well as a halfback. 83 his score was. And given the third best in the ground, maybe McKercher, half forward with 44, we'll give it to him. If we look at the optimised lineups this week, Gods would have got 500. 501, I think it was. I haven't got it in front of me now anyway, doesn't matter. The only addition to Renegades team would have had Durham with Heaney, Rankin, Holmes and Noble all moving spots. For the Gods, they would have moved Marshall to utility and bring in Sweet to the ruck. Warner would have gone to midfield and Naz would be the follower. Rosie goes to halfback. And for the second week in a row, no Brayshaw into this lineup. Now for the match of the round.
Footywired. Match of the round. Footywired. Match of the round. Yeah.
It is the match of the round, and although I wanted a nice mid-300 close game because it was the closest game of the round as a match of the round, apparently the consensus was a high-scoring shootout, which effectively was a blowout. Should be the game of the round. So let's have a look at it. It's the Maltese Falcons moving themselves 2 games out of the 5 with the win over current 5th place Rangers Anonymous. Or should I say 1 game out of the 5, should I say. Now, wait for it. Maltese Falcons got 476. That's right, yes, 476. Massive, massive score. They defeated Raggers Anonymous, who themselves got their highest score of the year, 430.5. Mick might be able to correct me, but I think 476 actually might be the highest score that we've ever got, but I'm not too sure. I don't really keep the records. It's definitely going to be in the top 3 anyway. But so look at Falcons. They had 4 players that performed exceptionally well, and normally we only pick 3 here. So that's what picking 3 is pretty hard. That's what she said. Anyway, but we'll go with the clear best on the ground. I had a joke lined up there. I just completely stuffed up my wordings and stuffed up the joke. Anyway, yeah, he says reading's overrated. Liver was the best on the ground in his milestone game. He got looped in and utility at 121. Larky's a full forward, got 55. And the next stuff, we'll go 2 of them. We'll go Green as a midfielder and Callahan as a follower. They got 70 and 66 respectively. So in terms of their best players. For the Rangers, they had some great score themselves this week, which in most weeks would have actually won almost every single game. Fortunately, though, not this week. Their best, Jack Steele, the 3rd tackle this week to get over 70. He got 72. Noah Anderson, he had a fantastic 4th quarter pretty much, and he got 102.5. And Georgiadis as a full forward got 43. The optimised lineups here sees, for the second game now, 2 out of 3 games, the second out of 3 games, the reverse decision. It would have been the Rangers who would have got the win in this one. They would have got 507 on their optimised lineups. Falcons almost chose their best lineup. Would have been 2 changes. Wiedering would have come in and Power would have come in. For Rangers, Caddy, Viney, Merritt and May all scored exceptionally well and probably would have got a run if they were in a Tigers jumper.
Footywired. Next best game of the round. Footywired. It's not as good as the first, but it's okay.
Anyway, let's go to the next game. It was Punters Paddock who have done the double over the top 2. Last week they defeated top place. This week they defeated second place in El Diablos, who are still at risk of losing second or even missing the finals at this stage. The Punters got the win, 366.5 to 356. Punters, they had Big Lloyd Meek as their best on ground. Got 63 as a ruck. Jeremy Cameron, who was always going to do well this week, he got 59 as a half forward, and Ed Richards was looped in as a follower with 53. El Diablos, their best this week. Toby Green as a half forward got 47. Hughes McClugley's continued his all footy wide form with 91 as utility, and Briggs was back and got 44 as a ruckman. Look at the optimised lineups here, and this is the 3rd game. There would have been a reverse decision as well. Punters, they would have moved Cameron to full forward, bringing in Myercheck, and Chol would have been the tackler. Chol. Well, I suppose Lewis and Deer are kicking goals in the resis, so he's got to keep in his spots and he's going to start putting some effort in and getting some tackles as well. For the Devilcocks, as I name him, Keys comes in and Duggan would have been the halfback with a big score, as does Connor Nash. Now, for the last game of the round, this was a game touted to shape the 5 with the loser falling behind the pack, and it was the Gators who got the big win over the Bombers forever, 437 to 341.5. The Gators now moved 2 clear, and with this game, 2 clear with the win, and they were led by Astronaut up front. Aaron Norton got 64 as a full forward. Gordon with some fine return. He has now, it's 2 games in a row where he got a utility score over 100. 101 as utility this week, and Butters in the midfield got 60. Not bad considering Neil Petrarca and Curto Newcomb can't get a run, but yet I'm not doing very well, am I? For the Bombers, well, halfback was named sub in Roberts, and I did look at Messenger. He did see the message on Messenger, but he didn't do it. I could have moved Mills into the spot, into the lineup, had time to do it, and it would have changed the result anyway. But reminder to everyone, myself or Mick, do update the teams 1 hour to 30 minutes before the game. Anyway, it's called a mobile phone, people. Look at it. You send messages. If you don't want to do your team, it's up to you. Anyway, Bombers were led by Bont at utility with 98.5. Darcy was up forward, hit with his jump time score of 48. And McRae's in midfield got 52. Ottomiler's lineups here. Neil gets the half forward spot for the Gators. Andrews would have got a halfback and Newcomb would have been the tackler. While for Bombers, Moyle will get the ruck spot, and Caleb Daniel, Chera, and Mills will all come into that lineup. All right, so the team of the week, understandably, given the high score, this score is going to be high as well, and it was 636 as a team of the week score. Cameron as a full forward was 70. Zach Bailey as a half forward was 64. Libby Utility with 121. Meek was the ruck with 63. Naz got midfielder spot with 87, and Merritt the follower was 76. Duggan is the halfback with 76, and Rao as a tackler with 78. Massive, massive score there for everyone. So now the ladder is starting to get very interesting. As we know, Gods are first. They're not going to move. Top of the ladder. Maybe you should throw a game this week. Anyway, then the log jam. I shouldn't say that because now everyone's going to say if I beat you. Anyway, the log jam starts here. El Diablos, they're one game clear of Gators, Bitches, and Sugar Daddies. Gators having the better score out of the three teams, or the better average score. A game further back from them is in the fifth spot is Rangers, but then one game behind them is Falcons, who has the second highest score in the competition, or average highest score in the competition. Bombers had the fourth highest score in the average competition. They're on 28 points as well. Renegades and Punters Paddock are also on 28 points. And Seek and Destroy, they're last, but they're 2 games out, but their average is pretty bad. They're on 24 points at the moment.
Footywired.
So if we have a look at it, there's 3 games to go now, and besides Seek and Destroy, who can't get to second spot, every other team can still get the second spot in the ladder, and obviously Gods are going to move. The run home now, I've done it a little bit differently to how I always done it, or done it the last few weeks anyway. Instead of using the current ladder positions as their ranking, so Mick being number 1 gets 10 points, Punters being the bottom gets 1 point, or Seek and Destroy being the bottom gets 1 point, and so on. I've also done the ranking for the last 3 average scores. From there, I've averaged it out, so I've divided it by 2. So let's give you an example of Falcons. Currently, they got the best 3-game average in the comp. 415.7 is their 3-game average. They will get 10 points for that particular score, but their ladder position is 6th, so they only get 5 points for that. Divide that by 2, 7.5 points. So if you play Falcons, your difficulty out of 10 is 7.5. So the higher the score, the harder the run home. Simple as that. Pretty easy. I don't know what little chart Mick's putting up on the screen right now, but that's what I'm doing. So if we have a look at it, 3 games to go. Renegades actually have the easiest run home with Sugar Daddies and Bombers forever. Also getting a nice run. Rangers Anonymous and Gods have the hardest run home. Everyone else is about even. The third hardest run, unfortunately, is Gators. Anyway, let's have a look at the round 18 lineup or fixtures. All right, so it's Monday. I normally do the video on a Tuesday, more likely a Wednesday. So there's no injury list done, and there's no lineups for Thursday night's game. So Mick will update the injury list on Tuesday as their lineup, so he'll do that Tuesday night. But from what I can tell from injuries last week's games, LDU and Caldwell are out for Seek and Destroy. Sugar Daddies, they may lose Jerry to concussion, but I'm not sure as they haven't confirmed it, and they actually said he's okay. Rangers, Layla or Lawler, whatever his name is out for the season. God's going to lose Vicentini. He was out, or he didn't play last week. He was injured apparently. Bombers, they lost Putley to a hamstring injury, and Rochelle looks like he might have done something to his knee. El Diablos, Amity left the game injured as well. Renegades, they didn't have Smith for the start of the game. Who knows why he's not playing? Maybe it's the nose beers. Who knows? I shouldn't say that. Just me mucking around. If anyone sees this video and tries to say something, just a joke. Calm down. Anyway, this week, players that could return after being tested last week or actually playing the Rezzies. Caniglio and Redman, Sidebottom, Hogan, Daniels, Witts, Parker, and Short are all possible to return in this week's game. So if you have those players, look out for that. But as mentioned, Mick will update the injury list on Tuesday night. So let's start. 3 games to go. It's big boy round. 4 out of the 5 spots could be set after this round, pending on results. So this week, Bombers play Sugar Daddies. El Diablos play Falcons. Gods play the Gators. Rangers play Seek and Destroy. And Renegades play the Punters. Bombers Forever and Sugar Daddies. Let's have a look at that game first. A win for Sugar Daddies could cement their spot in the 5. Bombers, though, their chances could end if they lose this game. Both teams have been pretty consistent so late, so Bombers really need to get the win here. Possible loopholes this week. Bombers, they could go Ashcroft or Chera on Thursday night. More likely they'll go one of those two because that's what they've been doing most of the season. Tom Mitchell plays Friday, and he does have a few players playing on Saturday in the Bulldogs and Adelaide game. The early Saturday game, should I say. For Sugar Daddies, possible loopholes here. Well, they've got the other Ashcroft, he plays Thursday night. Rao, just probably leave him tackler, so you probably want to get him. Or Cameron, if Cherry plays, if Cherry is named, Cameron could be the loophole as well. The next game, El Diablos and Falcons. El Diablos haven't been in good form lately, and a loss here could actually see them drop to 4th after occupying 2nd spot for so long this season. For Falcons, a win could possibly get them into the 5. El Diablos probably loop Cripps, Dunkley or McCluggage because they're the 3 that pretty much they've been looping all season, and they're all good options, let's be honest. For Falcons, he has Hewitt and Reading playing Thursday night. He could wait for his 3 dog players to play on Saturday. That is a good option with Kennedy and English as well. Let's go to the next game. Paraderby, Gators and the Gods. Gators need to win to secure a final spot. The Gods, they just want the bragging rights. And these two teams have actually been in pretty good form. Look at the 3-game average, the 2nd and 3rd best averages over the last 3 games. The Gods, what are their options? Got Dacus on Friday night, but it looks like he's actually already done his team and he's going to lose Brayshaw, who plays Saturday night. And he always plays well against the Hawks as well, so that could be a pretty good option. For Gators, well, Thursday night's got Curnow, Neil and Zorko and Andrews. Maybe going Neil, tough one with Curnow and Norton. Who knows who's going to have a good week and which week. And Neil, there's about 5 or 6 midfielders that do the same thing, so tough decision there for the Gators to make. 4th game we're going to look at is Rangers and Seek and Destroy. Now, Seek and Destroy have been in better form, but they're sitting on bottom of the ladder, and Rangers have been okay. They've lost a few in a row, but they're actually scoring okay. They've been in the 5 for a few weeks now, so they're just hanging on, the Rangers are, and Lupin just a loss for the Seek and Destroy, should I say. My spelling is really bad in my script. Anyway, a loss for Seek and Destroy will end their season. And given selections and injury news, though, Rangers only got really 2 people to choose from in Saligo or Kelly as a loophole, considering the first player to miss games or to go Friday night. He's not playing. No one to loop before that. And then he's got Laylor and Bolter, who won't be playing Saturday night. So he's really got to choose Saligo, who plays early Saturday, or Kelly, who plays at twilight on Saturday, as his only options, if he chooses to loop, of course. Seek and Destroy, they could possibly go Bailey after his big 5-goal game the other week. He plays Thursday night. Flanders Rally at Friday is also another good option as well. Now, the last game is 2 out-of-form teams. They are the most out-of-form teams in Renegades and Punters. With the last 3 averages, they are last and second last. Although Punters did get wins over the top 2 the last 2 weeks. Renegades, they could loop TDK this week. He plays Thursday night. John Noble plays Friday night. He might be an option as well. Well, Punters could go Sidebottom, who should return Friday. Even might go Richard on Saturday as another option. All right, so that's all the games. Have a look at the AFL fixture. Back to some normality, really, or as normal as going to get. Blues play the Lions Thursday night. Suns and the Pies on Friday. Dogs play the Crows at 1:20 on Saturday. That's a game that was in Ballarat, but now it's at Marvel Stadium. Giants are playing the Cats. Saturday night is Tigers and the Bombers, and also the Dockers and the Hawks. Sunday, it's the D's versus the Roos, the Saints versus the Swans. Port play the Eagles. So that's it, everybody. Thanks so much. Have a good week. See ya.
It's time to win the Footywired.